Hello, my friends, and welcome back to episode 6 of OKMC. And today we have a lot of work to do, but first of all, we need to get geared up since we only have iron armor for right now. So let's get over to the villagers to get some work done. So you may notice I have tons of levels, and that's because I've been working heavily in this villager trading hall. And I've done a little bit of interior, and we need efficiency 5, so I've been grinding up a lot of XP with these villagers. And over here, I have this new system for my zombie transformation chamber, and it's a lot better, but I still want to improve it a little bit more, but probably not in this episode. So as for our first goal of this episode, we are going to be getting our diamond armor up. And first of all, we're going to level up this villager, and then we're going to send this guy through a transformation chamber if need be. Level him up again. And there we go, we've got diamond armor. So let's send this guy through the zombie thing one more time to get his prices down to 1 emerald per piece, so we can finally have full diamond. So we're gonna push him into the zombie like that, and then we're gonna go behind the glass, which the zombie can't actually see through, and the zombie will start attacking just like that. Now I've purchased all of my diamond armor for 1 emerald each, which is pretty great. And now look at that, we're all shiny now. It's been so long, and I've been postponing this for far too long. And you know what? This armor isn't even that bad. It's all like Prot 2 and Prot 3. But we're still gonna get Prot 4 for everything. And like mending and unbreaking. Prot 4 obtained, all we need to do is cure this guy now. And now we have this guy over here, who is efficiency 4, and this guy over here, who is Prot 4. So I've upgraded all my tools, and I've done half of my armor. So we're already pretty much done with our beautiful setup. And you may just notice that I built this emerald chandelier to fit into this build, since I think it works pretty well with the theme of the build. Okay, and last piece done. We have our full diamond set, and we're finally fully blinged out. So, to start today's episode, we have finally become powerful, but we have a gaping hole in our episode, and that is the lack of this build here. And I think it's about time we finally finish this. We need to finish this because, big hole doesn't look good. So, without further ado, let's hit a quick bit of build mode and finish up this build once and for all. Ready? Let's go. And yes, that is the second time I said once and for all. Let's go. We've had an incident. I need to pick up all these things before they all despawn. Oh, yeah, so I interrupt this time lapse to pick up a bunch of stuff. Oh, is that oh yeah, that's the elytra. We gotta go get that now. That's important. And yes, I have been scaffolding for the whole time lapse with emerald blocks. And there's the elytra achievement. Not that it means a lot, because it's not my elytra, but even so. I should probably explain what's happening. I was in the middle of the building, time-lapse obviously, and we had a visitor, but the visitor, had an unfortunate, end, to say the least. That was... kinda scared me, to be completely honest. And there we go. Okay, that was nerve-wracking for me because I don't want this guy to leave. That would be scary. Those bookshelves aren't mine either, I don't think. There's no chance that those are mine. Yeah. There. I think that's everything. Okay. Wait. Some of these are mine. Not all, but some of them are. That appears to be the end of that. Nope. Do you need the base tools? Because I have like 1 emerald ones. Slightly failed visit aside, Slightly failed visit aside, I finished up the build on that side and did the other side in first person since I thought it would be an interesting change of perspective. So let's hit fast build mode and finish the second side. Done with build mode, and we have 2 beautiful walls and this residual chest left over, which we're gonna need a break. But obviously the interior has not been designed yet, and I want to get swiftly onto that since I think we can finish up the Villager Hall project in this episode instead of dilly-dallying and working on this over the season, since I think it would be better to just finish it now and be done with it since there isn't a ton to do in here. So I want to make a proper zombificator. So let's hit the redstoning music. Is there redstoning music? I don't know. There will be if I remember. But first, there's a way better way of dealing with these villagers, and we're gonna set that up right now. So we're gonna start by clearing out a very defined area around this bottom. So I've got this built up right underneath the villager breeder, and I'm going to put a piece of, or a water bucket, not a piece of water. No, don't follow me. Why are you following me? Right back there. So now, this corner, they'll be able to get into minecarts through this corner. So we're going to need to set up a minecart track that can be activated from above to bring a new villager up. So let's get to work and get that working. Alright, so I've got this dispenser right here, and I'm going to use this like that. So now, if I put in a minecart, which I don't have, give me a minute, we get our dispenser in here. If we take this spruce button, it will put it down and get out a villager like that. And I'm going to replace that with a slab. So that's cool, but we don't actually want him to be out, so I'm gonna have to put you back in there. I hope that's alright with you. Alright, so I've got a working system. I click this button and I'll get a villager up here that I can work with to get new trades. And now I just need to have a way of converting him consistently. Now in theory, I never have to go back down here again, but for now I'll leave this open so that I can return villagers back if I don't want them. Although it would be cool to make a mechanism to actually return one if I accidentally call them. So before we make a zombificator, let's make a return system. So I've run into an interesting problem. I need to break the minecart if I'm over here, if I send it back. But I don't want to destroy the minecart with this cactus, so I need to put a minecart with, or a hopper minecart on this block so that it doesn't break. So let's get that working. Firstly, I'm gonna need to lay down a piece of track. Alright, so a little bit of modification has been done using a design for a minecart unloader that is supposedly a 100% lossless, and I'll put the tutorial in the description. It was very useful to me. And that is the villager return system done. All we need to do is wire up this hopper to go to this dispenser, which is going to be expensive in iron, but doable. After a bit of extra work and the removal of these 2 emerald blocks, we should have a working return system for these minecarts. So I've got a couple of changes of plans for today. I kind of got bored of doing all these villagers, and it's been a little while since I last recorded my clip. It's been probably 3 days since I put any work into anything on the server. And if we walk over here, I've cleared out a large area where I want to start my mega build. Yeah, I've been kind of on again, off again, thinking about if I want to do a mega build or not on this world. But I've decided we will, since I have an idea that I think would look really cool here. And you will see what I'm working on, but we're going to start with just the big hill. So, this is a perfectly big flat area, and we're going to need to fill it entirely with a big hill. It'll take a while, so let's hit build mode and get the start of the mega base going. Ready? Let's go. So, that may have not looked like much, and I plan to do another layer, but I gotta say, that's the first of 160 layers I have to do. And yes, they'll get easier over time because they get smaller, but this is so much bigger than I thought it was. I was expecting it to go maybe out to, like, the edge of this. It's like twice that size. It is massive. But all the better, as it is meant to be a mega base. And look at how massive that is. Let's hop onto the spectator account to check it out from there, since I think that'll be a better view. Also look at the durability of my shuffle. Luckily enough, it does not take a lot of villager trading to repair this tool entirely. So we have our tool back to full durability, and now let's hop on the spectator account and take a look at the progress. So here on the spectator account, you really get an idea for how big this hill is going to be, as this is the blueprint. It's very big. Clearly, it's massive, and it's going to take a lot of effort to put together. But for now, we have like the start, we have the outline, and this is going to unfortunately run through it, but we can do some modifications to get it, since the main build will only be about this big, although I may be underestimating it, because I severely underestimated the size of this hill. So let's build more of this. I think we can get a big chunk of it done, if not the entire hill. So, ready? Let's go. And there we go. The time-lapse you just watched was about 3 or 4 hours of building, and this is all we have done. It kind of puts into perspective just how much work this build is, and it looks very bad before we actually put in the point of the build. And this is kind of worrying. I did not realize this would be so difficult to cut out, but I still believe in it. Look at this. It's very big, and my frame rate's not happy about it, but it looks very cool. And that's all I can do for today. Not in the episode, but for today. We'll keep working on this hill. I want to get the whole hill done in this episode, because I think the hill is a good start, because, I mean, it's also a pretty big project to get the hill done. And then we could start working on the actual build, the base part. So, Now, before I say anything here, I want to remind you all that I'm not BOO. I do not have endless time to build mountains in a day, but this was all done in just today, in the past, like, 8 hours. I've been working. I didn't time-lapse the rest of it just because I wanted to sit down and build without needing to worry about recording stuff. So, here we go. We've got the entirety of a mountain built, except for this, but that's because it's gonna have to have this hole for the actual base. And there's plans, let me tell you, there are plans, and I'm gonna slowly over the next couple episodes work on building this up, and then we're gonna have to do a lot of decorating. But I want to do a nice cave in here as well. I want some like beautiful ore veins. I think that would look really cool if we could do something like that in this area, since, you know, we have this massive area anyway, and I want the main storage system to be inside the build that's on top of the hill. Although it could work underneath, but look at how much room we have, so we can definitely work in here. But I've gotten 3 layers of the main build, and, you know, the entire hill, which I think is pretty good progress for one day. So, I'm going to bed now, because it's been a lot today. It's been a lot of work. But we'll continue maybe this episode, maybe not. I might have more plans, so... Well, I came around and saw this. This is unfortunate. As my zombie's dead, we need to catch another zombie. I don't want to catch another zombie. I really don't. Those aren't fun. But we're gonna have to because this one's gone. So, new zombie captured. And now we'll have a permanent zombie. But I need to catch an iron golem in here because the second one spawned. And I'm gonna put a zombie somewhere where these villagers can't see it, because if they see him, they spawn an iron golem, and we don't want that. So there should be a very simple system. That. I think that should work. I hope that works. New zombie captured, and hopefully this time there will be no chance of an iron golem killing it for me ruining the whole thing, hopefully. But this time he has a fancy hat, so that's cool. Let's give him full fancy armor, since, you know, it's not too difficult to get. So here you go, my friend. You are looking dapper. Beautiful, buddy. And I'm gonna leave you there. So let me just say, I've done so much work on the server since last you saw me. First of all, look in here. It's perfectly flat except for over here, and I left my potato farm. But if we look over in this chest here, 3 wither skeleton skulls. And lastly, I am preparing for a end expedition. I haven't been there yet, and I think it's about time I get an elytra. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get an anvil. I'm gonna get my 2 books, Unbreaking and Mending, to get an elytra. And I mean also some shulker boxes, since we only have the 2 and I want more. Hello there. Here we are, the first end city of our game. And it looks like we have a ship. Okay, that's perfect. And I've accidentally angered you. Ideally, you do not kill me, actually. I don't think there's any risk. I'm not wearing my fancy armor. In fact, the only fancy item I have on me right now is this, and that's only so I can break my ender chest. But now that we're actually at the area, it's time we pull out my good gear and start looting. Alright, here we are. And there's the achievement. I'm excited. Hopefully this isn't rated already. It's not. Cool. Oh, those are some really good boots. And a pickaxe. Nothing else is really interesting. I'll take the free ingots, though. There we go. We have our own wings. Our very own wings. So exciting to finally have this. gemstone wings. Alright, let's check out some chests. 7 diamonds. Alright, so we've gotten out of there with some fairly solid loot, and here is everything we got. We've got these pieces of gear. This is... Wait, that's just my shirt. Oh, I left that in there. Never mind. Got this gear. These shoes particularly are very nice. And 64 and 20, so 84 shulkers, which is 42 shulker boxes, and a couple emeralds. So I'm very happy with the trip, and I mean, there was a main reason to come here, and we got that main reason. Look at that, my beautiful wings. So I think it's time to head back so we can do our second scary mission of the episode. I don't know. I think we'll save Wither for next episode. And here we are right next to our 2 gateway portals right next to each other, which I plan to turn one into a Wither Rose farm. But for now, you know, it's just very convenient that they spawned right next to each other. But for now, let's head back to the main island. It's just very cool. Let's get back home and wrap up the episode. Here we are back at spawn, and we're gonna buy some rockets from Shimo, even though there's not that many. 1 diamond. I'll buy 7 stacks. Well, anyway guys, I hope you all have enjoyed this episode of Oka MC. We got a lot started, but not a lot finished. So be sure to turn into the next one. And, you know, for the first time this season, I'm getting ahead of myself. I hope you have enjoyed. If you did, leave a like. If you didn't, well, you know what to do. But I hope you'll have enjoyed. And until next time, goodbye.